I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. You join me currently up in Birmingham at the NEC, and we're attending the Restoration and Classic Car Show, but we are currently in the CCA Classic Car Auction. So let's have a look around and see what classic cars are going under the hammer today, because there are loads here. The first vehicle we've come across today is this 1974 Reliant Rebel with a cause. Here is the engine bay, completely restored with its 701cc engine. Really interesting. You've got like some magazine features in here. Seems like a lot of work has gone into this and there's a lot of history behind it. Very nice. This is actually the first lot to go under the hammer here. Graham Catchpole owned it and started the restoration, but in late 2020 he generously donated the project to the Practical Classic magazine, who with their partners done a full restoration and all proceeds going to the NHS. How lovely is that? It wasn't long before I stumbled across a Ford. This is a 1978 Mark II Escort. It's a 1600 gear auto that's only covered 9,000 miles. Loving the interior on this one. It's untouched, unmolested, and barely looks like it's been sat in. Here is the stunning engine bay. Really clean under here. It's got a lovely story to it as well. A lady owned it and bought it new in 1978, but she retired from driving in 1981, meaning that it hadn't even had its first MOT. Anyway, it went into storage until 2015, when the car was lightly restored and had its first ever MOT. What a story. So there it is, guys. I don't think you're gonna get closer to buying a brand new Mark II Escort than this. It's for sale here today, and the estimate is £15,000 to £18,000. Next up, we've got a very bright Mini. This one is explained to brighten up your wheels if you spend half an hour in it. It's originally a 1985 Austin Mini Mayfair Custom. Tiny little steering wheel, and the yellow theme continues in here. So this Mini Mayfair would have originally came with a 998cc engine, but it's been upgraded to a 1200cc. As you can see, the Mini's been modified. It's got these arches and skirts on it, got some wider wheels as well. It's only done 35,000 miles, and the estimate is £6,000 to £8,000, but it is worth noting there's no reserve on this, so it will still sell even if it's under the estimate. Now, I do like an old Ford hatchback, but this is a VW hatchback. Just looking around this Mark I Golf GTI. This Golf looks really glossy in the light at the show, but it's got loads of scratches over it. The wheel arches look a bit tatty, but it just needs a good machine polish and clean to make it stand out that bit more. Obviously, this successful buyer of this car can restore it and make it look nice and pretty again, but I don't think it's far off. Anyway, the estimate is £6,000 to £8,000, but it's offered without reserve. Just looking around the engine bay on this RS2000, it's got a Pinto in it. It's been rebored to 2.1, 45 Webers on the side of it. There's also got a fast road cam in there. The Escort's only covered 41,000 miles. This RS2000 is said to be one of the best they've ever seen. It's estimated between £25,000 and £30,000. I've come across another red Mark II RS2000, this one being made in 1979. Looks very original, still got the original airbox on the top there. That's nice to see. It's not mint under the engine bay, but it's original. Inside, it looks lovely. Something that the other RS2000 didn't have is the Recaros with the original fishnet headrests. Check out the number plate. That's being sold with the car this weekend at CCA auctions. The mileage is pretty similar to that other Mark II RS2000. It's on 42,000 miles, but the estimate is 40 to 50 grand. Now, what do we think the reason is behind that? Originality, or is that number plate coming into factor with the estimate price? Let me know in the comment section below. Whilst we're on the Escorts at the moment, I thought I'd come and check out this Mark 1 Escort. It's described as a strong unwelded shell, which is very rare for an Escort. The Escort is originally built for sprints and hill climbs, but could easily be adapted for club rallying. There's a 2-litre Pinto. The estimate on the Mark 1 Escort is £22,000 to £26,000. We're just looking around this slightly more modern Ford, but getting more rarer and expensive by the day. I've just opened the door and the dash was lit up. It's not even covered 3,000 miles. That is impressive. Something that Lauren's just pointed out, I don't think I've ever seen that before. It's a 5-star. Overall, it's got 135 points out of 135. This is immaculate. Here is the immaculate 2.5 5-pot turbocharged engine. Hasn't even been ran in yet. The Focus RS has only had 2 owners and has got 13 service stamps in its book, nearly 1 a year. The estimate on the Focus RS is £55,000 to £65,000. Check out this Capri 2.8 injection. It's been in long-term storage and recently been recommissioned. It's only covered 23,000 miles. There's the interior. This is the 2.8 injection engine. Do really like the Capri pots. They've got like a flat face instead of what the XR2s have, where it's slightly domed. The estimate on the Capri is £18,000 to £22,000. It wasn't going to be long before me and Lauren stumbled across a Mini. Unfortunately, this one has had a rough old life. I think the interior needs a little scrub up. I've already got one long-term project, so I think we will have to give this one a miss, but the estimate is 5 to 6 grand. Right, we've stumbled across probably my favourite car of the auction, this Mark 1 Fiesta XR2. It's a 1983 model. Here's the original 1.6 engine. It's had the usual spots welded up here and just over there, but they've been done fairly neatly. Check out this interior. Now, we do see some real mint interiors when we go around these auctions, but this one is completely original and unmolested. The seats are like this light grey colour and they're not dirty. They just look nice and original and clean. Wow, so good to see one here. I was just talking about the Capri pepper pots, funny enough, and now we've come across a Mark 1 Fiesta. It's got pepper pots on it. Obviously, it's slightly domed. The Mark 1 XR2 has got 73,000 miles on it, which for a car this old isn't high mileage at all. I could stand here all day drooling over this Mark 1 XR2, but we've got to move on. The estimate is £20,000 to £25,000. Check out the Mark 3 Fiesta. I've got such a soft spot for these. This one is completely original and has only covered 17,000 miles. There's a little 1.1 engine. I've just been reading up and I was quite surprised when I read that it's had a full body restore, including new front wings. But yeah, it surprised me. I thought with 17,000 miles it would have been kept in real good condition, but obviously it needs a bit of work, but it's gleaming now. The arches are immaculate, but they should be if it's just had a respray. It looks like whoever took the trim off accidentally bent it or whatever, because that's all rippled down there. It's been owned by the same family since new, and the estimate is £5,000 to £7,000. Lauren's happy. We've now come into the mini section, it seems. Just looking around this 1275 GT. I'm loving the pattern on these seats. Proper retro. Engine bay is completely immaculate. This car is actually covered just over 10,000 miles. This Mini was actually fully restored around 5 years ago, and since then it's only covered 1,000 miles, so it just doesn't get used. It's a lovely car, and the estimate is £16,000 to £20,000. We found a Mark II Morris Mini Cooper, made in 1968. It's gleaming in its black paintwork with all the chrome bits on it. Loving that mini steering wheel, that looks brilliant. Nice clean black interior. The estimate on the Morris Mini Cooper is 20 to 25,000 pounds. You certainly don't see one of these every day. A Mark I Transit pickup. It was restored in 2009. Lovely condition. Oh wow, look at that. The Transit pickup's done 55,000 miles. Probably not its original bed, but it still features a wooden bed with these wooden sides as well. The whole vehicle has been restored to a really high standard. This is one of the more powerful engines for this age of Transit. It's a 2-litre V4 engine. Everyone loves a van, and we just come across a Mark II Transit in the engine bay. Not an uncommon sight, 2-litre Pinto. The Transit has covered just 19,000 miles. How incredible is that? Transit's crying out for a camper van conversion and a tow bar, so then I can tow my Mark II Fiesta to shows. As you can see, the Mark II Transit is getting a lot of attention. It's only estimated £7,000 to £9,000 with no reserve. But yeah, if I had the space for that, I'd be seriously tempted in purchasing it. I said in my Hampson auction video that I do like E36s. I just found a E36 M3. The M3 has covered 94,000 miles. Nice little cockpit in here. I'll tell you what is even better, these seats. I really do like them. Here is the 3.2 engine. The M3's got MOT until 2024. The estimate is 12 to 15,000 pounds. I'm looking around this 1969 Morris Minor Series V Traveller. Now the reason being is my mum has said that my granddad that I never met used to have one of these. The Morris Traveller has got 67,000 miles on the clock and it's still in daily use. The car has had a 41-year ownership and it's now up for sale here at the auction, and the estimate is 10 to 12,000 pounds. We had another look around the Fords. It's a shame because quite a few of them are locked up, so it's hard to show you guys the interior and obviously under the bonnet. But this is a 1994 Cosworth RS. Just showing you guys the interior now. It's got 88,000 miles. I do love the pattern on these Recaros. Hexagons work really well. Now, a really interesting fact about this Escort Cosworth is it was part of Northumbria's police force fleet of fast pursuit cars, and I know there was a lot going on Facebook and YouTube about these being ex-police cars recently, so this is one of them. Here's the engine bay. Needs a bit of TLC really. There's some heat shield in there that's burnt off, needs replacing and that. And the battery's got loads of wires going to it. It's nice though, it just needs tidying up. The estimate on the Cosworth is 47 to 52,000 pounds. I remember when I was here with my pal Ash last year, we were looking around loads of Range Rovers they had for sale, and yeah, they were in a pretty bad state. And this one is exactly the same. As you can see, this advertising bit of paper is on the only part of the windscreen because the rest is just missing. If you check out the inside, there's all green stuff growing on the seat. We've got some sort of engine that's been thrown in the back that comes with the sail. But yeah, this car has had a hard old life. Looks like it's been living in the woods for 10 to 20 years. It generally looks like this Range Rover's been trashed. All the windows are smashed. There's just like this paint all over it. This has been like bodged up with loads of sealant. But yeah, it's here and it's on sale for 10 to 12,000 pounds. How about that? We have found another BMW to please everyone. I'm trying to record more cars, not just all Fords. This is a 1974 BMW 2002. and it's just gone under a massive restoration costing over £42,000. The car's only estimated 25 to 30 grand. The BMW 2002 has got 58,000 miles on the clock, and the vendor condition is described as 5 out of 5 stars. So there should be no imperfections at all on this car. Anyway, that was just a brief look around this. The estimate is 25 to 30,000 pounds. Just looking inside another Capri, it's had a 10-year restoration. My GoPro might not pick this up, but the paint is lovely on this. It's got like a metallic finish. I was just complimenting the restoration, but under this bonnet, this engine bay has got to be the best one I've seen all day. It's got its Essex 3-litre V6 in there. I nearly didn't see this Transit, tucked away in the corner. Another Mark II Transit, a 1984 model. This one is a crew van. Even easier to turn into a camper. But the only downside for me, personally, is it's a left-hand drive. Same story as the other Transit we've already seen. 2-litre Pinto in the bay. A very presentable condition. Yeah, I really do like that. I don't really fancy doing another left-hand drive to right-hand drive swap anytime soon, but that is cool. Anyway, the estimate for the left-hand drive Transit is 8 to 10,000 pounds. And there we have it. That was my walk around the CCA Classic Car Auction up at the Classic Car and Restoration Show in Birmingham. For me, one of the main cars that stood out was that Mark II Escort, but at an estimate of 15 to 18,000 pounds, I don't think I was going to be purchasing that. Although saying that, it didn't actually sell, and there is now a buy it now price on their website. One of the cars that surprised me in the sale was the Mark III Fiesta, the red one. It was completely mint. It was estimated at 5 to 7,000 pounds, which I thought was quite high, and it ended up selling for 2,000 pounds, which I think is a lot more reasonable. Saying that, on the other end of the spectrum, you've got the Mark II Transit van, which was estimated at 7 to 9,000 pounds, and ended up doubling its lower estimate, and it reached £14,000. I think it was well worth that though. It was a lovely van and very low mileage too. One other car that stood out to me more than the rest was the Escort Cosworth RS, the ex-police car one. Now I thought that was really cool to see it, but unfortunately it didn't sell. Yeah, that's got a buy it now price up on their website as well. This was my second time visiting a CCA auction. The first time I visited, I didn't document it too much on YouTube, but obviously this time round I've documented it a lot better. Overall, I thought the auction was really well laid out with great detailed descriptions on all of the classic cars, and the catalogue was laid out perfectly too. Unfortunately, some of the cars I wanted to look around were locked, and this happened on several occasions. A little bit disappointing just because I like to look inside and under the bonnet. Obviously, if you're looking to purchase a car, then you're going to want to look in there as well. But I'm sure if you went up to the key desk, they'd give you the keys to open it all up and whatnot. But when I'm walking around, I don't have time to shoot back and forth to try and open up different cars. I'll definitely be returning to CCA auctions. And on that note, their next sale is on the 17th of June at the Warwickshire Events Centre. I do say this in all my videos, but all of the information is always in the description below. Anyway, I think that's all I've got to say. If you guys want to talk about some of the cars in the comment section below, or give your opinions on the hammer prices, then please feel free. I'll try and reply to everyone's comments. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, and if you like what you see, subscribe to the channel to see more. Thank you all for watching, and until the next one, I'll see you guys later.